All right, so we have someone new to the class today. We have Hari Niveda. Is it okay if I call you Hari?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Bunshen, Hari, and Chris, please leave your cameras turned on. Perez as well. Why do you suddenly turn off your camera? Okay. So your paper is next Thursday, yeah, Thursday, 28th September. So that would be your official PSLE paper. And after that, right, it's Friday, which is your maths. And then on Saturday and Sunday, following that, it's your break time. And then on Monday, it's your mother tongue papers 1 and 2. And then on Tuesday, it's your science paper. So, next Thursday, that will be your day of reckoning. All right. So please, all right, this is your last stretch. All right. Whatever effort that you've been putting in so far, continue putting in that effort. All right. Whatever you want to ask me, all right, ask me in this lesson. All right. If you have any questions that you want to clarify now. Okay. If you wait till next week to clarify, you might not be able to learn it as well because it might be too late. So let's have a look here. Today we are looking at synthesis and transformation. All right. Relative pronouns. Okay, what are relative pronouns? I'll show you later. But we know that pronouns, right, are basically words that refer to nouns. So for example, he, right? He refers to a boy, like a character, maybe someone else, right? He was there in front of the principal's office. Okay. So he is a pronoun, she is a pronoun, they is a pronoun, these are all subjective pronouns. I, right? And then we, and then it's, right? These are all subjective pronouns. But here we're looking at relative pronouns, right? Which I will explain a bit later. So today we'll be looking at some grammar MCQs. All right, comprehension cloze, and most importantly, all right, synthesis and transformation. Now for your synthesis transformation later, right? I might want to test you guys a little bit more on questions that keep coming out every year for PSLE. All right, so if you can answer them properly, there will be a higher chance for you to answer them correctly in your PSLE as well. All right, so I want to test you on those types of questions. Relative pronouns don't come up every year. Okay, but there are some types that come up every year. So we're going to look at that later as well if we have time. And Chris, you are right. They cannot be used for one person. They is used to refer to a group of people, okay, or a group of things or ideas. Okay, it doesn't need to be human. Then of course, if you use we means you, the speaker, right? You are part of that group as well. Each paper is worth 1.5 years of primary school. Yes, I guess around that, kid. All right, let's start. So far, the people who have answered online are Chris, Joy, Kian, Yu Leong, and Tammy. The rest haven't. So I'll give everyone here some time to share your answers and see whether you got it correct or not, right? Just to do a bit of practice here. So first one, immediately we are faced with lots of relative pronouns over here. Right? These are considered relative pronouns. But which one should we pick for question 1? Those of you who haven't done it, give me your answers. We'll see whether you get it right or not. The liar, you are correct. Good. Yes, Chris. So when people say my pronouns are they, them, that's actually wrong. Right? You can say my pronouns are he, him, or she, her, that kind of thing. Okay, Hari is correct. Bunshen is correct. Good. How about the rest who hasn't tried yet? Tammy has tried it. Let's see. Yu Leong has tried it online. Joy has tried it online. Kian has tried it. Perez, what do you think the answer is for this? Wunjuan has answered already. Chris has answered online. Kiara, what do you think the answer is for this one? Perez, you are correct. Kiara, you are incorrect, unfortunately. So over here, okay, we are actually referring to the money. All right, the money. I will return you the money because I borrowed it, right? So the money I borrowed from you. Okay. So over here, immediately we can't use who and whom because these are for humans. And we also can't use whose because whose is used to refer to belonging to a person, right? A human. But here we are talking about money, right? Money. So the only answer is B. All right. So I will return you the money which I borrowed from you as soon as possible. Okay. For this, a very quick this is a question that always comes out in your PSLE. The difference between who and whom. When do we use who? When do we use whom? Right? It's a very tricky one. So does anyone remember how to differentiate between who and whom? When do we use who? When do we use whom? Anyone remember? When the person is different, not really. Okay, I'll give you an example, okay? Let's say Chris and Kian, right, had a fight. All right, Chris and Kian had a fight. So let's say Chris punched Kian. Okay, so over here, we know that punched is the verb, right? It's the action word. But who's the one doing the punching? Chris is the one doing the punching, right? So Chris over here, we call Chris the subject because Chris is the one performing the verb, right? The person or the thing performing the verb is always called subject. And who's receiving the punch? Who's receiving the action? It's Kian, right? So Kian is considered the object over here. So the verb is acting on Kian. All right. So whenever we want to refer to Kian, we refer to Kian as whom, because Kian is the one receiving the verb. And if we want to refer to Chris, we refer to Chris as who over here. So, for example, I might have a sentence like this. Chris, comma, all right, who what? Who punched Kian, all right, was maybe punished. But if I want to refer to Kian over here, I will say Kian, comma, whom. Can I say whom punched Chris? That's wrong, right? Kian wasn't the one who punched Chris, right? Whom was punched. He was the one receiving the punch. Whom was punched by Chris, right? Maybe had a black eye. Okay, so that's the difference between using whom and who. All right, so whom is used, who is for the subject while whom is the object, that's right. And whom is used when the person in front of whom is different from the one behind whom. If you can remember it that way, the liar, then remember it that way. But it seems like a very confusing way to remember it. All right, but if you can remember it that way, sure, why not? You are right, okay? So let me give you all some random questions to the chat group, see whether you understand or not. Okay, I'm going to send you all some questions now. You tell me, should the blank be who or whom? All right, see whether you can understand this grammar concept. All right, this one. Give me your answers. Is it who or whom? Joy is incorrect. Hari is incorrect. The liar is correct. Kian is correct. Tammy is incorrect. Joy is correct now. Tammy is correct now. Yu Leong is incorrect. Hari is correct now. Okay, why is the answer for this question whom? Because who's the one doing the catching over here? Is the butcher catching the health authorities, or are the health authorities catching the butcher? So since the butcher is the one receiving the catching, the butcher needs to be referred to as whom, with an M behind. Whom. So Bunchen, you are wrong. It's whom, with an M behind. All right. That's right, the liar, because the butcher was caught by someone else. The butcher was the one receiving the catching, right? The butcher was the one who was caught. Okay, I'll give you another one. How about this one? Okay, Kian is wrong. Joy is correct. The liar is wrong. Tammy is wrong. Kian is correct now. I mean, yeah, the liar is correct now. Sorry. Yes, Tammy, you're correct now. Hari, you're wrong. Yes, Hari, that's the correct answer. Why? Can someone explain why is the answer whom with an M behind? Yes, the answer is whom. So Tammy, ask yourself, who's the one doing the trusting over here? Who's the one receiving the trust? Who's the one giving the trust? Yes, the teachers are different people from the liar. That's right. But that's right. So the teachers trusted the liar, right? So who's the one doing the trusting? The teachers, that's right. Who's the one receiving the trust? The liar, right? Very good. So in this case, whom? So the liar is the main person here that you must put who or whom for. We're trying to identify the liar at the front of the sentence. So we say the liar whom the teachers trusted because they trusted her, right? So the liar is the one receiving the verb over here. Okay, I'll give everyone here one last question to see whether you understand it or not. I hope everyone can participate, including people who are not responding, like Perez, Kiara, Yuanjia, and Kian. Okay, one last question over here. Is it who or is it whom? Studies.